So today we're talking about pec minor rehab. Now pectoralis minor, as you can see in this picture, is a muscle that arises from the coracoid process here and travels down, crossing what we call the mid-nipple line, inserting and finishing about 2 inches before the actual area of the nipple. So it's in this area here. Look at the picture, you can see that all the nerves of the brachial plexus pass under it, which is why if this muscle has tightened up through your posture or through your repetitive movements in training, especially in climbing, we need to offset it, neutralize that strain. It's one muscle that responds really well to home massage, and one of the best home massage techniques is using a massage ball. Now it doesn't matter if you have a lacrosse ball or a spiky ball. Use whichever one you've got, just through preference. I just prefer the lacrosse ball. So you look at where it is anatomically, that's where it is there. And if you look at my vest, it's sort of just on that line of the vest, just under the collarbone, and finishes about there. So if you put your fist there, that's your whole area of interest. So place the ball there. Don't stand straight, widen your stance. So just look at that wide stance. And then just drop yourself down, engage the ball to the side, and keep that arm floppy and relaxed. Don't have it up. And the movement, so you can see I'm going up and down and side to side. Up and down, side to side. Covering that whole area. So it's not one point, it's a region. And I want you to do that for 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, stop. There is a small chance that if you do 7 or 8 minutes, you can bruise the nerve, and that's called a neuropraxia. We have never had a problem with it, but 3 minutes, you'll find it's totally safe. You may get a shadow of symptoms into your forearm whilst you're doing that. If you keep to the 3 minutes, we find that that level of provocation is absolutely fine, but when you get to that sort of feeling of maybe a bit of numbness or heaviness in your forearm, just stop. And you'll be doing that once or twice a day. Now if you come over here now, so the next thing we've got to do, so we've massaged the pec. Now we need to stretch the pec. So you're into an open doorway, and for convenience we're using this door here. Now you'd normally do this into an open doorway, but just for convenience we'll just show you here. So you have your hands placed up, leaning in, and I would call this like a 30 to 45 degree lean. It's not a press up to strengthen your arms, but if you just bend in and if you just allow yourself, I can feel the pec stretch across my chest. So as I come in, and what you do, you adjust your arms up a little bit. That doesn't stretch as much. That stretches a bit more. And that doesn't stretch as much. So that's where I'm going to be optimizing my stretch. So search that hand position a little and stretch in. And you're going to be doing 4 or 5 reps, hold for about 3 or 4 seconds. You can feel that, I can feel that really stretch there as my arms come back in that, what you would be doing into an open doorway. When the pec minor is tight, it's pretty much a certainty that the thoracic spine, this area from there to there, will be contributing at least 20 to 30%. So early on, I like to introduce some foam rolling. And again, it doesn't matter what type of foam roller you have. For simplicity, we've just got a plain one. You can have like a more aggressive one with a rumble strip, that's fine. So basic foam rolling, and you'll be doing this maybe 20, 30 passes. So you pop yourself into this type of position. Start with it low down there, cross the hands on your shoulders, lie back, and that just feels really nice, that sort of stretch. And you can see how I'm just going down. And I'm just searching that whole area. And when you get to the part that feels tight, if there is a part, then you'll just be spending a little bit more time onto that. So about 20 or 30 movements up and back, and you can scream that whole bit from there to there. Keep the head, don't have your head up. If you have your head up, that's likely to just scoot out, so have your head nicely in plane with your body. If you prefer, you can have the hands behind the head there. Just make sure that's, so some people prefer this position. It really doesn't matter, but again, we don't want you pointing the elbows forwards. In this position, your elbows point straight up to the ceiling. Does that look straight there? Yep, okay. And that just feels like a really, really nice stretch. And if you want, in this position, if you get to a point that's specifically tight, and if it's to one side, you can lean over. See, I'm leaning to the right there, just to get a little bit more pressure. That's more difficult, hands on shoulders, but still can be done. Oh, that feels really nice. Really good addition. Usually when you'll be prescribed this, the pec minor is usually needing rehab when there are elbow, wrist, hand, or finger issues. There will usually be other exercises prescribed, typically scapular press-ups, which are on the advanced shoulder program, or other elbow exercises. The pec minor program will be rarely prescribed on its own.